Good evening, children. In yesterday class, we have discussed about various types of species in biodiversity, endangered species, endemic species, extinct species, invasive alien species, etc. I told you those are all very important for the examination. Those keywords are very important. Their definition is very important. And the examples for those species also very important. Based on these ideas and concepts, they will ask the questions. What are invasive alien species? The species which do not belong to our native place. Those are called as invasive alien species. Actually, they belongs to some other place in the world, some other country. They belongs to some other country, but they are widely spread in our area. Those are called as invasive alien species. I told you yesterday. Examples. What are the examples, children, for invasive alien species? You can say your answer in chat. Yes, Hyderabad pigeon. What is the name of these plant? Icarnia or Gurrapudekka, isn't it? What about extinct species? Water hyacinth, very good. Hyacinth or water hyacinth, Icarnia. What about extinct species, children? Can we found those extinct species on the earth? Yes, dodo bird, very good. Sarita? No, we can't able to find them on the earth. Dinosaur, dodo bird, very good. Royal Bengal tiger is not the extinct species actually. It is endangered species. What is endangered species? Children? Royal Bengal tiger is treated as endangered species. Why we are calling it as endangered species? Endangered means no. Endemic means they lives in particular area. Endangered means yes, very good. Hasini. They are very close to extinct. That means their number is very in less. So if we do not protect them, they will disappear from the earth planet completely. So we can't able to see them in near future. Here you are observing the endemic species. Endemic species means they are found only in particular area, especially in particular region. Peacock only observed in India and Sri Lanka. White tiger is only observed in Asia continent. Kiwi or anteater only observed in New Zealand. Endemic means they live in a particular place of the country or particular place across the globe. Children, we discussed about these concepts in yesterday class. Now today we will discuss about the paper. What is the use of paper? How paper is made? What is the raw material used to make the paper? Do you know, children? Tree. Yes, wood. Tough tree. Let us observe the various steps in paper making process. It is very interesting video. I will ask a few questions while a video is playing. So observe it carefully. Okay, children?
Sappy paper is manufactured from wood grown in sustainably managed forests and plantations.
Observe
The timber
process
used for
of
paper
making
production
paper.
comes either from deciduous trees such as birch, poplar, beech and eucalyptus, or conifer trees like spruce, fir and pine. Sappy paper is manufactured from wood grown in sustainably managed forests and plantations. The timber used for paper production comes either from deciduous trees such as birch, poplar, beech and eucalyptus, or conifer trees like spruce, fir and pine. Conifer wood has longer fibers than deciduous species and generally forms stronger papers. When the logs arrive at the woodyard, they are fed into a rotating drum which removes.
Children, what are the trees used to make? What are the trees used here to make the paper?
Fibers. The wood chip rotating drum which removes the. When the logs arrive.
Yes, fir, beech, pine, etc. Okay, let us observe the next process. Here they cut the stems or thick branches of the trees.
Sappy paper is manufactured from wood grown in sustainably managed forests and plantations. The timber used for paper production comes either from deciduous trees such as birch, poplar, beech and eucalyptus, or conifer trees like spruce, fir and pine. Conifer wood has longer fibers than deciduous species and generally forms stronger papers. When the logs arrive at the woodyard, they are fed into a rotating drum which removes the bark. The logs are then chipped. The largest source of wood chips for papermaking is the recycled offcuts from industrial sawmills. The wood chips are transported to the pulp mill on a conveyor belt. As they enter the pulp mill, the wood chips are fed into a digester, where they are cooked in an acid solution to dissolve the lignin and separate the plant fibers. We call the pulp obtained from this process wood-free, because the lignin has been dissolved. The fibers are washed to remove the acid solution, and the pulp is now soft and fibrous. Before it can be used to make white paper, the pulp is bleached and any residual lignin, which would cause the paper to yellow with age, is filtered out. To protect the environment, this bleaching is chlorine-free, using oxygen and peroxide. The yellow-brown wood chips that entered the pulp mill have now been turned into a soft white pulp, the principal raw ingredient for making paper. This treated pulp can be dried, baled and transported to other paper mills, which may either not have their own pulp mill or may require a specific type of pulp to give the paper particular characteristics. Whether produced on site or bought on the market, the pulp enters the paper mill and is mixed with water. The pulp solution is refined by passing it through a series of rotating and stationary blades. These give the fibers a variable degree of clean-cut or fibrillated ends. Fibrillated fibers bind more tightly with adjacent fibers, creating stronger paper. Wood fibers alone would produce rough-textured and unevenly dense paper, and fillers such as calcium carbonate and clay are mixed in to make the paper more opaque and give it a more controlled density. Dyes, optical brighteners, and sizes may also be blended into the pulp to improve the appearance of the paper. By far the most important process material is water. About 100 litres of fresh water are needed to make 1 kilogram of paper. Sophisticated wastewater treatment plants and closed water circulation systems on the paper line allow over 90% of this water to be recycled. The pulp solution is now a carefully controlled mix of fibers, fillers and colouring agents suspended in water, ready to enter the paper machine.
The paper machine is the heart of the paper mill. A continuously running series of manufacturing processes that will convert the pulp solution into the perfect paper grade for each market application. The head box is located at the beginning of the paper machine. Here, the pulp solution is injected at high pressure directly into the space between two continuously rotating wires. These carry the pulp into the gap former, which rapidly drains the excess water from both sides. This immobilizes the pulp within milliseconds of leaving the head box, turning it into a continuous web of paper, still wet and fragile, but already exhibiting its most important sheet properties. The delicate paper web is now carried into the press section by continuously looped wet felts, which carry away most of the water and stop the sheet from tearing. At the shoe press, the paper web is forced between a soft rotating roller, pressing against a hydraulically actuated metal pad. Water is squeezed out of the paper by this pressure, and this is absorbed and carried away by the wet felts. The longer section of the paper machine contains the drying cylinders. These huge heated rollers dry the paper, giving it the strength to become self-supporting, ready for the processes which will determine its surface qualities. The paper sheet passes along the paper-making machine at up to 1,400 meters per minute. Every process is continuously monitored to ensure its manufacturing consistency. The paper passes through a machine calendar, where two finely polished steel cylinders at a precisely determined width apart ensure that the paper thickness is consistently even. The paper then passes through a series of sizing and coating presses. Here, starch and coating colors are applied to its surface using a film press process. The coating color is sprayed onto an elastic roll, which then transfers the coating film to the paper web. Film press coating creates a uniformly thick coating layer, which follows the surface of the paper. After each coating process, the surface is dried by infrared heating panels and drying cylinders. Setting the surface with sizing encourages printing inks to dry on the surface of the paper rather than be absorbed into the paper, increasing the color intensity of the finished print and improving the surface strength and water resistance of the paper. The paper is then wound onto a series of steel cores which press against a pope reel. This makes sure that the paper is wound at the right tension onto each core. Every hour, the paper line creates a jumbo reel containing 80 kilometers of paper sheet, 8.5 meters in width, and weighing 120 tons. The paper machine operators carefully check every aspect of the base paper quality, its thickness, opacity, and smoothness, making sure these are exactly as specified, before allowing the robot truck to carry the jumbo reel away for further treatment and finishing processes.
The final surface qualities of each batch of paper are controlled in the coating. White. This can be natural starches or purely synthetic compounds such as latex. To create a smoother surface, up to 2 more coatings per side are applied using the blade coating process. Excess solution is sprayed directly onto the paper and is then scraped off by a steel blade. Depending on the pressure of the doctor blade, a uniform paper surface is created as the irregularities in the paper are smoothed out. Each side is coated and dried in sequence to create the correct characteristics for each paper grade. An optimum coating consistency, but it does not yet have a perfect surface finish. This is achieved in the super calendar. The paper passes through up to 10 rollers, which each apply pressure and temperature. These rolls have different surfaces, such as hard steel and soft rubber, depending on the type of gloss and surface treatment required. The paper in this jumbo reel now has all the characteristics needed for its end use. Apart from one final detail, its size. The jumbo reels are transported to a slitter winder. Rotary blades cut the reel into several narrow reels, which are rewound and sent forward to the finishing department. Several reels are simultaneously fed into a sheeter, which cuts the paper into sheets and stacks these onto pallets. Several printing processes, like heat-set web offset,
Children, now you observed various processes in paper making, isn't it? What are the steps you observed there in paper making? Send your answers in chat. Why we are learning about paper now? This is the lesson is about biodiversity. Then we are learning about the paper making process. Paper is made from the tree. Yes, first time chesaru vallu. Cutting trees, very good. They are big in size, large logs. So that logs are crushed into small bits. small bits of paper. Then those bits of woods are boiled, crushed, and they added some chemicals while boiling, isn't it? Yes, bark removed. What is the color of the pulp? Actually, the color of the pulp is brown. So to remove the color, they added some chemicals to the pulp. Pulp means they crush the wooden bits. That wooden bits crushed, that one mass is called as pulp. The color of that pulp is in brown. So to remove that brown color, they added chemicals and they washed that pulp with water. And later that pulp is moved through the rollers. They applied heat and they send that pulp through rollers, binders, and they applied heat again. They added some chemicals to give the finishing. There are many steps in making paper, but we are wasting paper without knowing its importance. To make a ton of paper, around 15 to 25 trees have to be cut down. Do you know that? So stop wasting paper is one type of protecting trees or forests. So using more paper involves more chemicals that are harmful to us and also nature. Do you know that, children? Another interesting fact is that the paper can be reused by recycling it 5 to 7 times. మనకు ఒక టన్ పేపర్ తయారు చేయడానికి 15 to 25 పెద్ద పెద్ద ట్రీస్ ని కట్ చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది ఒక టన్ పేపర్ కి. అట్లా పేపర్ ని మనం వేస్ట్ చేస్తూ ఉండడం వల్ల మళ్ళీ కొత్త పేపర్ తయారు చేయాలంటే చెట్లని నరుకుతూ పోవాలి. అలా కాకుండా ఉండాలంటే పేపర్ ని మనం రీసైకిల్ చేయాలి. రీసైకిల్ అంటే ఏంటి చిల్డ్రన్? వాట్ ఈస్ రీసైక్లింగ్? ఎస్, వాటర్ కూడా, చాలా వాటర్ అనేది అవసరం అవుతుంది పేపర్ తయారు చేయడానికి. మనం పేపర్ ని రీసైకిల్ చేస్తూ వేస్ట్ చేయకుండా ఉంటే నేచర్ ని, ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్ ని మళ్ళీ మళ్ళీ వాడటం, ఇది మనకు అవసరమైన రీతిలోకి మార్చి వాడగలగటం. So we have to save the trees. To save the trees, we do not waste the paper. Is it right, children? Let us observe the recycling process of paper.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Ariba Khan. In this video,
Here she is recycling the paper. You can do this process at your home.
So first of all, let's see what we need. We need waste paper, water, cotton cloth, a strainer and a container. So let's get started.
Follow these steps to make the paper at your home.
Hey everyone, welcome back to now after 30 minutes, use iron and flatten off the paper like this. Now my paper is completely dry and I have cut it in a rectangular shape, and you can see this yellow paper. I add some turmeric in its mixture. Now our both paper are ready, and now I will write over it. You can see this texture is very nice.
Children, you observed now the recycling of paper at home. Is it right? What she did there? First, she cut the newspaper into small bits and she soaked those bits in water. Later, what she did? And she grinded that paper strips, soaked paper strips in the mixer. Later, she spread that pulp on the seed and she leave it for dry. After a few hours, what she did, she ironed it and she flipped the another side of the paper and again she ironed it. So recycled paper is ready there. So you can do this process at your home also, recycling paper. And another one most important type of plant product now we are using is cardboard. How cardboard is made? What are the raw materials used to make the cardboard? Do you know, children? Actually, the furniture is made with the logs or thick woods of the plants. But cardboards need bits of wood and sawdust. These two is enough. Actually, bits of wood is a waste in the timber depot. Timber depot, we can find lots of bits of wood there, and sawdust is also waste product there. So those waste products of the plant furniture, those both can be used to make the cardboards. How cardboard is making nowadays? The pulp which we collected from the bits of the wood and sawdust is spread evenly as layers, and in between the layers they add the sawdust. That means they sandwiched the sawdust in between the two layers of the pulp, and they compressed it and they dried it, and it becomes as hard and strong as wooden. So that is called as cardboard. That cardboard is using for making different furnitures and cupboards at our homes. By using cardboard also we are saving the plants. Saving plants and animals is our duty as one of the species of biodiversity. Here some are important questions which are helpful in NMMS examination. Who said that every day 27 species are being extinct? Evo Wilson, Bayraff, Ian Wilmette, Edward Jenner. Ian Wilson is the right answer. He said that 27 species are extinct every day. Extinct means they are completely disappear from the Earth planet. We can't able to see them in the future. Next question is, what are the natural reasons for destruction of habitats? Floods, forest fires, human interventions, floods, forest fires, earthquakes, tsunami, human interventions, floods, earthquakes. Which is the right answer, children? Natural reasons I am asking. Yes, C is the correct one, Sai Teja. Human intervention is not treated as natural reason. ఇక్కడ హ్యాబిటేట్స్ అంటే ఆవాసాలు, జంతువుల యొక్క ఆవాసాలు అయితే ఏంటి, మొక్కల యొక్క ఆవాసాలు అయితే ఏంటి, ఎవరి వల్ల నష్టపోతున్నారు, న్యాచురల్ గా దేని వల్ల నష్టపోతున్నాయి అంటే ఇక్కడ ఫారెస్ట్ ఫైర్స్ వల్ల కావచ్చు, వరదల వల్ల కావచ్చు, లేకపోతే సునామీలు ఇలాంటి వల్ల అవుతాయి. మన హ్యూమన్ ఇంటర్వెన్షన్స్ వల్ల అయితే అది న్యాచురల్ అనము, మ్యాన్ మేడ్ అంట దాన్ని. మ్యాన్ మేడ్ రీజన్ ఫర్ ద డిస్ట్రక్షన్ ఆఫ్ ది హ్యాబిటేట్ అంట. ది ఇండస్ట్రీస్ బిల్డ్ చేయటము, ఫ్యాక్టరీస్ బిల్డ్ చేయటము, పవర్ ప్లాంట్స్ బిల్డ్ చేయటం, అవన్నీ కూడా ఏంటంటే హ్యూమన్ ఇంటర్వెన్షన్ రీజన్స్ కిందకి చెప్తాము. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ క్వశ్చన్. వై షుడ్ బి కన్జర్వ్ స్మాల్ ఇన్సెక్ట్స్ లైక్ ఏ బీ ఆర్ ఏ బటర్ఫ్లై? ఎందుకు మనం బటర్ఫ్లైని, బీ లాంటి వాటిని కన్జర్వ్ చేయాలి, పరిరక్షించాలి? ఫస్ట్ ఆప్షన్, ఇన్సెక్ట్స్ హెల్ప్స్ ఇన్ పాలినేషన్, లుక్స్ బ్యూటిఫుల్, అవి అందంగా ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి. అండ్ ఫర్ హ్యూమన్స్ ప్లెజర్, సకింగ్ నెక్టార్, మకరందాన్ని సేకరిస్తాయి కాబట్టి పూల నుంచి. వీటిలో ఏది కరెక్ట్ ఆప్షన్? ఏ ఇస్ ద కరెక్ట్ ఆప్షన్, హాసిని. ఎందుకంటే వితౌట్ ఇన్సెక్ట్స్, వితౌట్ పాలినేషన్ దేర్ ఇస్ నో ఫ్రూట్ ఫార్మేషన్ అండ్ సీడ్స్ ఫార్మేషన్. Without seeds, there is no future generation of plants. So each and every living being is important on this earth planet. So that is why biodiversity is important. Next question, Jim Corbett National Park located in? Jim Corbett National Park ekkada undi? Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Andhra Pradesh. Yes, A is the correct answer, Uttarakhand. Second question, Pakal Sanctuary located in? Previously asked questions, East Godavari, Warangal, Adilabad, Mulugu. Warangal, correct answer. Why do birds migrate? Important one question. Why do birds migrate, children? For food, shelter, to protect themselves from harsh climatic conditions, safe breeding areas. ఆహారం కోసం, ఆవాసం కోసం, తమను తాము రక్షించుకోవడానికి. ఎలాంటి పరిస్థితులు? హార్ష్ క్లైమేటిక్ కండిషన్స్, ప్రతికూల వాతావరణ పరిస్థితులు, అది బాగా వేడి కావచ్చు, చలి కావచ్చు. నెక్స్ట్ ఫోర్త్ వన్, సేఫ్ బ్రీడింగ్ ఏరియాస్, వాటి సంతానోత్పత్తిని పెంచుకోవడానికి సేఫ్ గా ఉండే ఏరియాస్. సురక్షితమైన సంతానోత్పత్తి కేంద్రాలు అంటాం అన్నమాట. వీటిలలో ఏ రీజన్ బర్డ్స్ మైగ్రేట్ అవ్వడానికి కారణం? సిసిసి. ఇక్కడ ఆప్షన్ నేను మోర్ దాన్ వన్ ఆన్సర్ అని చెప్తే మీరేం చెప్తారు? ఇక్కడ ఉన్న ఆప్షన్స్ లో ఒకటి కంటే ఎక్కువ కరెక్ట్ అంటే ఏ ఆన్సర్ ఇస్తారు? అశ్విత ఏబిసి, అరవింద్ రెడ్డి ఆల్. ఎస్, ఆల్ ఆర్ కరెక్ట్. బర్డ్స్ మైగ్రేట్ అవటానికి ఇవన్నీ కూడా కారణమే. ఈవెన్ పీపుల్ ఆల్సో మైగ్రేట్ ఫర్ ద పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ ఫుడ్, షెల్టర్, ఫర్ ద బెటర్ జాబ్, for better livelihood. Identify the correct statement from the following. దీంట్లో కరెక్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఏంటి? కార్డ్బోర్డ్స్ ఆర్ ప్రిపేర్డ్ ఫ్రమ్ బ్లాక్స్ ఆఫ్ వుడ్. కార్డ్బోర్డ్స్ ఆర్ మేడ్ ఫ్రమ్ బిట్స్ ఆఫ్ వుడ్ అండ్ sawdust. Cardboards are made from long wooden planks. In cardboard making, plant materials are not used. What is the correct option? B. Yes, B is the correct one. ఎందుకంటే మనం కార్డ్బోర్డ్ తయారు చేయడానికి పెద్ద పెద్ద చెక్కలు, కట్టెలు వాడరు, పెద్ద పెద్ద ముద్దులు, చావదేరిన కలప వాడరు, బ్లాక్స్ ఆఫ్ వుడ్ వాడరు, లాంగ్ వుడెన్ ప్లాంక్స్ కూడా వాడరు, బిట్స్ ఆఫ్ వుడ్ అండ్ sawdust వాడతారు. దట్ ఈస్ ద రైట్ వన్. B is the right one. చూస్ ద కరెక్ట్ వన్. ఇక్కడ ఎగ్జామినేషన్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూలో ఇలాంటి క్వశ్చన్స్ కూడా అడుగుతారు. స్టేట్మెంట్ 1 అండ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ 2 ఇచ్చేసి విచ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఈస్ కరెక్ట్ అని అడుగుతుంటారు. స్టేట్మెంట్ 1 లో హ్యూమన్ యాక్టివిటీ ఈస్ అలౌడ్ ఇన్ శాంక్చురీ. ఇన్ స్టేట్మెంట్ 2 హ్యూమన్ యాక్టివిటీ ఈస్ నాట్ అలౌడ్ ఇన్ నేషనల్ పార్క్. యాక్చువల్లీ ఇన్ స్టేట్మెంట్ 1 హ్యూమన్ యాక్టివిటీ ఈస్ అలౌడ్ బట్ లిమిటెడ్ ఇన్ శాంక్చురీ. Here in national park, human activity is not allowed. Which statement is correct here? A, B, A. Ashwita. Answer C. ఒకటి ఈశ్వరి. A. ఇక్కడ in sanctuaries actually human activity is allowed very limited way. In national park human activity is not allowed. So both the statements are correct. So the option is C. Next question. Choose the incorrect pair here. Hyderabad pigeon, non-native species. White tiger, endemic species. Neem plant, endangered species. Vulture, endangered. దీంట్లో ఇన్కరెక్ట్ పేరు ఏంటి చిల్డ్రన్? హైదరాబాదీ పిజియన్ ని నాన్ నేటివ్ స్పీసీస్, విదేశీ ఆక్రమణ జాతి అని చెప్పేసి అంటాం. దట్ ఈస్ రైట్. వైట్ టైగర్ ఈజ్ ఎండమిక్. వైట్ టైగర్ ఎండమిక్ అని ఎందుకంటాం? అది ఓన్లీ ఏషియా కాంటినెంట్ కి మాత్రమే పరిమితం కాబట్టి ఎండమిక్ అంటాం. నీమ్ ప్లాంట్ ఎండేంజర్డ్, ఇది ఆపదలో ఉన్న జాతి అంటున్నాం, అంటే వీటి సంఖ్య చాలా తక్కువ ఉంది అంటున్నాం. అది కరెక్టేనా? వల్చర్ ఎండేంజర్ అంటున్నాం. వల్చర్స్ అనేవి, రాబందులు అనేవి ఎండేంజర్, ఆపదలో ఉన్న జాతి అని చెప్తున్నాం. ఇది కరెక్టేనా? కరెక్ట్ ఆప్షన్ ఏంటి ఇక్కడ? యక్షిత్ రెడ్డి, సి కరెక్ట్ ఆప్షన్. ఇక్కడ ఏంటి? నీమ్ ప్లాంట్స్ అనేవి ఎండేంజర్డ్ లిస్ట్ లో ఇంకా చేర్చలేదు. ఎండేంజర్డ్ లిస్ట్ లో ఉన్నది వల్చర్. ఓకే, వైట్ టైగర్ అనేది ఎండమిక్ స్పీసీస్. ఇన్కరెక్ట్ పేరు వచ్చి ఆప్షన్ సి. Which one of the following animal is not found in red list book? Red list book అనేది ఏంటి చిల్డ్రన్? The species which are in danger, whose number is decreasing day by day. Which species is number is decreasing day by day? That species are registered in this red list book. By whom? IUWC. Which one of the following animal is not found in red list book? Lion, red fox, spotted deer, monkey. Which is the correct option? D is the correct option. Very good. Identify incorrect statement from the following. దీంట్లో incorrect statement ఏంటి? To make a ton of paper, around 15 to 25 trees have to be cut down. Paper can be reused by recycling it 5 to 7 times. Wasting paper indirectly leads to deforestation. Paper whitening chemicals do not harm us. దీంట్లో incorrect statement ఏంటి children? Find out the correct answer. First one ఏంటి? ఒక టన్ పేపర్ తయారు చేయడానికి 25 ట్రీస్ వరకు అవసరం అవుతాయి, కట్ చేయాలి. ఒకసారి తయారు చేసిన పేపర్ ని రీసైకిల్ చేసి మనం 5 to 7 టైమ్స్ వరకు వాడుకోవచ్చు. వేస్టింగ్ పేపర్ ని వేస్ట్ చేయడం ద్వారా డిఫారెస్టేషన్ కి మనం కారణం అవుతున్నాం. ఎందుకంటే పేపర్ తయారు కావాలంటే చెట్లనే కదా నరకాలి మరి. ఫోర్త్ ఆప్షన్ ఏంటి? పేపర్ ని తెల్లగా చేయడానికి, బ్రౌన్ కలర్ లో ఉన్న పల్ప్ ని వైట్ చేయడం కోసం కెమికల్స్ వాడుతున్నారు, అవి మనకి హానికరం కాదంటున్నారు. ఫోర్త్ ఆప్షన్. ఇందులో ఏది కరెక్ట్? ఏది? ఎస్, ఆప్షన్ డి ఇస్ కరెక్ట్ హియర్. అంటే ఐ మీన్ ఇన్కరెక్ట్ యాక్చువల్లీ. పేపర్ వైట్నింగ్ కెమికల్స్ harm us. D is the correct option. Okay, Bharat sir. Children, I will explain you another topic in the next session.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. ఇప్పుడు ఏ క్లాస్ కూడా చెప్పాను.
లైవ్ స్ట్రీమింగ్ ఆపారా? అసలు మూవ్ అవ్వట్లేదు, ఒక్క స్లైడ్ కూడా మూవ్ అవ్వట్లేదు.